This is my first ever YouTube video. My friend Matt from high school helped me make this video in exchange for $20. When I was in grade 10, my careers teacher told me to pick a profession. I took this very seriously, so I decided to drop out of high school and try and become a rock star. This was my first band, Shout for Serenity. I met these dudes by replying to a Classify ad they had listed looking for a drummer. Impressed by my YouTube channel, they offered me the gig. My second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth videos were still made by my friend Matt, who is a dope skateboarder. When I was 19 years old, I auditioned for a band called Aspire. They wanted me to submit a tape performing one of their songs. Because of this, I had to learn how to film myself drumming. I got the gig and I also decided to continue making drum covers, but now I could make them on my own. Like when I first started making drum covers on YouTube by myself, I used one microphone, an AT2020, and a small little single channel interface and my MacBook and a Sony Handycam. That was what I originally made probably the first 50 videos on. I literally recorded stereo overheads by having the AT2020 on the right side of the kit, playing the song perfectly, moving it to the left side of the kit, playing it again, overdubbing the two.
Really?
I did that for a long time until I could afford a second mic.
Oh, and those are only like $100.
Yeah, but that was like, that was so much money when like you're blowing all your cash on gas to get to gigs, to go to music video shoots, to like put in for, you know, all the other stuff that goes into being a musician.
Yeah, sticks, heads, you wear those out, cymbals.
Yeah, and then like rent, gas money, car insurance, like all that costed. You remember how many years I was just trying to get enough money to buy a PlayStation 4?
Oh, yes.
And you remember
And I bought like 30% of it or something.
Yeah, you helped me. After years of that console being out, you helped me get it. And it was like my most cherished possession.
I know.
From 2014 to 2017, I made 47 drum covers. I was working dead-end mall jobs and spending every penny I had on gas and equipment bills so I could continue to gig on the side. In 2015, my YouTube videos landed me a spot in a band called Down and Dirty on one condition. I had to help the band buy the rights and logo from Dennis Stoff, who had just departed the band to join Asking Alexandria and was selling the project back to us. My share was 3,000 Canadian dollars that I didn't have. My dad loaned me this money, and for the remainder of 2015, I worked 16-hour days to pay him back before leaving to work with the band the following year. Down and Dirty broke up at the end of 2016, and I returned home and met Lindsay. My next crack at forming a band was a project titled Ares, as in God of War, which is so fitting considering what happened with this project. Ares was built on the back of the songs that John and I had written while living in the US in 2016. After some studio sessions, a music video shoot, and a live taping for our management, we ended up throwing in the towel due to personal conflicts. It was time to take my YouTube channel seriously. Public service announcement. If you're a musician and you wonder how to get your music videos seen by anybody, watch this ad. Otherwise, I don't know. Enjoy the rest of the video. So you wrote a song and you think it's sick. Now it's time to get it heard, but gone are the days of handing out CDs unless maybe you live here. Even then, your audience is really listening here. Jump on DistroKid and publish your music to where the listeners really are. Your release blew up and it's time to tell the story further with a music video. You filmed something awesome to share and now you need to get it on here, but you have no idea how to get it anywhere but here. Let me fill you in on DistroVid. Just like DistroKid, but this time for music videos. You can use DistroVid to easily publish music videos to platforms like Amazon Music, Apple Music, Tidal, and of course, Vivo. So how much does DistroVid cost? It's $100 a year, which to me is completely fair. The service allows you to upload an unlimited amount of music videos. Go put your work in, make a stack of music videos, and when you're ready, sign up for DistroVid and start uploading those music videos to where people are gonna see them. Use DistroVid and get your videos seen today. You can check out the DistroKid services in the description below. Now back to the video. I just got to the point where I was like, I have to figure out a way to make money drumming. I don't want to be working minimum wage retail gigs the rest of my life. And the band stuff wasn't really working out. I felt that like a lot of the guys that I was meeting along the way were just kind of like doing it as a hobby and they weren't really serious about music. Like they wanted it to be their job. And I was serious about it. I was like willing to do whatever it took to make this my career. So this was when I introduced the lesson videos, because the lesson videos had no music in them, so they weren't copyrighted. So I thought if I make a bunch of lesson videos alongside of the drum covers, it'll help people and it'll also give me something that I can monetize. So maybe I can make some income off this and maybe one day quit my job. This was the first time I ever tried speaking to a camera, and holy shit, it was difficult. Down the section that plays after the bridge, the sort of transition part that moves you from. Also in these videos, I learned to slow down sections of songs to demonstrate concepts at lower tempos. This was very tough at first, but would end up taking my playing to an entirely new level. For the following 1 year and 2 months, I made 48 videos, half of them drum covers and half of them lessons. I started to accumulate small amounts of income from YouTube, which led me to December 14th, 2018, I quit. I took a huge leap of faith and went from working 40 to 50 hour weeks at a mall to working 80 hours a week on my YouTube channel. This time of my life was probably the most difficult so far, as I knew no moderation and basically worked around the clock for the better part of a year, consistently getting sick and burning out. Hard work always pays off though, and with all the money I was earning, Lindsay was able to quit her job and come work full time with me on the channel. The first controversy happened at this time. I shouldn't say first, like there's been more than one. I got like really into it with an ex-bandmate. Jared Dines and I did a collab of the song The Saw Is the Law by Whitechapel. And it got like a ton of attention. And in that, this ex-bandmate him and I did not end on good terms at all. I broke a bunch of his equipment when he did some things that I felt was really nasty. So yeah, I just like tried to get revenge on him, and he posted like a video doing his best to kind of defame or like cancel like what we had going on at the time. It was like the first time we dealt with real like online controversy of any kind, which was like super jarring, super intense. I'd say like a month of like depression to the point we couldn't do anything, even though we still actually did, which is crazy.
Yeah, we squeezed out a few videos.
Yeah,
we did.
There was a slowing in our content at that time. But that would go on to like affect me for like 6 months. Okay. And this was like the first time that I became completely disenchanted with making YouTube videos. There was a lot of really good lessons in it for me. This event happening was what led to the change that I think the channel kind of sees in us. Well, me for sure. I can't speak for you, but I like started on a path of getting well after that video came out. I had never had like so much hate and anger directed towards me before, and it was like a real wake-up call to like, okay, what have I been doing? How have I been treating people? All that kind of stuff. Shortly after that, a friend of mine dropped a bag of psychedelics, left a bag of mushrooms on my bed. I should make a whole video about like what that experience with mushrooms did for me. And then that led into yoga and ice baths and a whole plethora of other ways in which I started managing my mental health and like just healing as a person, which took away so much pain and anguish that I was using to fuel the channel. Yeah. You know, like you watch my old drum covers and you see like this hate and this like fire inside of me where I'm just destroying the kit, right? I wasn't faking it. I wasn't acting. Like I genuinely was in so much pain. And it was just coming out through the drum set and through the other videos. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I think I was not able to be authentic on camera, was because I was like playing a role that was somebody that I wanted to be, but I wasn't.
Yeah, you're playing a role to yourself even.
Totally.
So even if you're playing a role to yourself when you're alone, then you're obviously going to do it when you're in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Or with other people or...
Yeah. Anyways though, after this eventually blows over, we did in fact move into our own place on May 1st, 2020. And boy, were we thrilled. With this new space that was completely our own, we hit the ground running and started dropping all new forms of content. Our first collaborations. Doing collab videos is so much fun. Like we really love Matt and Ryan, and like getting to hang out with them. So sick. Make videos. I think that's why like this got 230,000 views. I think that's why these videos did so well, was because like we genuinely were having the time of our lives. Upgrades to the qualities of my covers, and my first stab at vlog content. Some other cool things that happened include I performed a drum solo in the Modern Drummer 2020 festival. Tim the Tapman checked out a bunch of my videos live on Twitch. I did a series of interviews and podcasts, including my own podcast series titled Line Check and Under the Shell. Lindsay started her own channel. I started streaming on Twitch, and then I started a second channel for my gaming content. Life is all about ups and downs, and the next down for me was just around the corner.
In September of 2020, Machine Gun Kelly puts out Take It to My Downfall, and that makes such a splash.
I live streamed a listening party for the release of the record. I posted reactions for most of the songs on the record, and I recorded drum covers for all of the tracks that I felt had the coolest drumming. A few months later, I got hit up by Slim from MGK's band to go and fill in for Rook, because Rook was out with like a busted leg at the time, and they had scheduled their first shows back since COVID. You know, like this is a call that I've waited my entire life for, that I've put all this work into YouTube and everything that I've ever done to get this opportunity.
This timeline's super tight. You've got to learn all these songs and you just start drumming like 12 hours a day.
I was doing 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I learned basically the whole set. There was a couple songs that I didn't learn because they weren't released yet. Like this was right before he dropped
Love Race.
Love Race, that's right, featuring Kelly and Quinn. I sent off like a bunch of videos of me just like cell phone with me in the room playing the songs to the tracks, to Slim. As the dates closed in, the texts from Slim started to turn in a difficult direction. Finally, I was given word that they decided to go with a different drummer for the gigs. Canada was on USA's no-fly list at the time, and the border was closed. As well, I did not have any kind of visa to work in the United States, and with such short notice, their team felt it was a safer bet to ask elsewhere. I understood and from the start knew this was a possibility because when Slim reached out to me, he expressed serious concern when I told him I am not a US citizen. To get this opportunity and it not work out was just, there isn't really words. It just crushed me into this thing is in the back of my head where like one day I'm gonna get this opportunity and I'm gonna go play for an artist, become the rock star that I had envisioned that I was gonna be when my careers teacher told me in grade 10, you need to pick what job you're gonna do right now and then do it for the next 43 years. And I said, F you, and I dropped out of school to be a drummer. Ever since then, when I was like 15, 16 years old, I'm working all this effort to get this call and it didn't work out, and then I was done. I kept making videos to pay the bills and fill my time, but my heart just wasn't in it like it had once been. Months later, I was approached by an artist named Evan, going by the stage name of TX2. He needed a drummer for shows at the end of 2021, and luckily the timing of the shows corresponded with the US-Canada border opening. Lindsay and I flew out to Colorado, and I played my first show in 6 years. Evan and I became super close. The first 6 months of 2022, I spent a ton of time flying out to various locations across the United States to shoot music videos, to play shows, and to hang out with Evan and the other guys in his crew. After 2 years of living in lockdown, all of this travel was exactly what Lindsay and I needed. We started to feel like the time we spent traveling were the moments in which we were getting to truly live. This got us thinking, why not just focus on travel and focus on seeing the world? We started watching channels like Yes Theory, Tim and Finn, Kara and Nate, Skylife, and Dakota of Earth, which further instilled in us a longing for adventure. Last month, I proposed to Lindsay in our backyard with all of our friends and family present. Today, we are living in Costa Rica with a list of countries ahead of us to travel to. I think life for everyone will always have its ups and downs, and this journey has been far from easy, but it has been completely worth it. In so many ways, to me, this is my recovery story, from abuses of the past to drug addictions and all of the hurdles in between. I can say I've made it out alive, and I'm only getting started. I'm sending love and light to you in your corner of the world, and we will see you all very soon with something completely new. Huge thanks to all of the people who have made this journey possible over the years.